to item number 5, which is the North-South Interconnector Review Group Bill 2019, and I call on Deputy Padder Tobin to move for leave to introduce. And you have 5 minutes after you move for a statement on the bill.
I move.
Thank you.
Minister, the government seeks to construct 409 pylons, up to 51 metres high, carrying 400,000 volts through Meath, Cavan, Monaghan, Armagh and Tyrone. And these will be set just a minimum distance of about 13 metres from people's homes. Now, the opposition to this 140-kilometre pylon has raged since 2008, and there are significant fears amongst the communities along the curtilage of the North-South Interconnector with regards health, with regards cancers, with regards childhood leukemias. There's also significant fears with regards the values of people's homes being wiped off, businesses, farms, tourism, agriculture, even the horse industry along the sector is extremely alarmed with the proposal that the government is making. And the truth of the matter is that technology has moved on significantly since this particular project was mooted back in 2008. And the technology that's been discussed has, in many ways, come out of date. It has been superseded by technology that can do the same job, but can do it underground. And indeed, now, around Europe, we're seeing similar projects being built, like the one between Germany and Belgium. The government said it could never be done here in Ireland, yet they're now setting on the project to build a similar line under Kildare. The CEO of EirGrid, Mark Foley, stated in the committees just about 2 weeks ago, he stated that 50 kilometres is the max for the undergrounding of an AC line. Now, contrast that to what the CEO of EirGrid then 4 years ago, in front of Bord Pleanála, said that 10 kilometres was the max that could go underground. So that's not even mentioning DC technology that's developing fast as well. Now, the campaign groups that have been run by NEPP, Monaghan Campaign, and SEAT in the north have been incredibly well run. They've had dozens of public meetings in those counties, many of those public meetings attracting thousands of people. And yet, they have been cursed with one thing, I believe. They have been cursed with political parties standing shoulder to shoulder with them in those public meetings, voicing exactly the concerns that those campaigns have on the floor of those public meetings, standing outside the Dáil gates, getting their photographs taken with those campaigners. And yet, when getting elected to the Dáil, simply going underground themselves, losing their voice, with regards to the opposition to this particular project. Fianna Fáil TD Thomas Byrne stated when he's in opposition, he said, you cannot say one thing in opposition and then do another thing in government. Well, yet, Thomas Byrne and many other of the TDs in Cavan, Monaghan, Meath East and Meath West have become the thing they said they hated. And Fianna Fáil have promised a watery review in the last few weeks, which amounts to nothing more than a desktop exercise with regards to the existing information and also the input from EirGrid. And interestingly enough, Green Party leader Eamon Ryan says he believes that the controversial North-South electricity interconnector must go ahead as planned, despite the Taoiseach ordering a review to be held. Now, I'm an elected representative for 10 years, and you can get very cynical in this place for sure. Many times have I seen people hold investigations and hold reviews, knowing the results before any part of that review is actually taken. And it seems we're falling into exactly the same situation here. So what's left? We are running against the clock on this particular issue. There is a significant chance that this project could start in its construction phase towards the end of this year or the very start of next year. Right now, the only bulwark that exists against this is the judicial review that's happening in the north of Ireland. But I'll add one thing as well, something that maybe the government haven't taken into consideration. All the landowners along the curtilage of the North-South Interconnector have said that they will not let EirGrid on their land under any circumstances. And I have no doubt that the government is now edging towards significant conflict with the people living in that particular area. In the north of Ireland, I don't believe enough has been done to stop this project. There are serious questions to be asked of Sinn Féin and the level of effort that they have put in the north. I have no doubt that some of their TDs in the south of Ireland are fully against this. but there seems to be a dual approach. There's no evidence, in my view, that the necessary energy has been put in the north to stop this. So this is my second bill on this issue, and this bill looks to do two things. First of all, it seeks to include the cost to the value of homes, farms, businesses and enterprises with regards to the full cost of this project. Secondly, it's legislation. It stops the government manipulating the terms of reference. If this bill is passed, they have to carry it out to its full extent. I have no doubt in my mind, if this bill is passed, that this project will be found uneconomical and wrong, and we stopped. And I urge the political parties in this Dáil to support this bill. Gurbahagat.
Thank you, Deputy Tobin. Is the bill being opposed? It's not being opposed, for the motion for leave to introduce is agreed. Deputy Tobin, will you move that the second stage be taken in private members' time?
I move.
Is that agreed? Agreed.